Good morning, JDH Reptiles fans. Just touching base with you. We had a couple of requests regarding our rats and how we take care of them. Our rat room is actually outside. We had a shed that we purchased, we insulated it, and then we had some people question how we actually put together our bins. So I'm just gonna kind of go through a little bit of what we do when it comes to rat bin cleaning. As you can see, we shop at Tractor Supply Company, which is local here to Michigan. I'm sure that they're a chain, so they may be found near you too. We get a deal when you buy a pallet or more of these shavings, and that's what we use. So you can kind of see here it says premium pine shavings. We get the large. You can see this is a bin that's already been prepared. See how large the shavings are compared to my hand here. And so what I'll do here is just kind of go through how I make up a bin. So in the bottom of our bare bin, we take our pelletized bedding. It says for horses and small animals. It's natural pine. It's just compressed pellets, kind of similar to what you can use in your cat's litter box called Yesterday's News. And what I do is I just take a scoop of it, and I'll give you kind of an idea of what that looks like, and I just spread it across the bottom of the bin. So I'm going to swing the camera around and show you what I do. So here's our bare bin. This is the container I use, and I just shake it across the bottom like so. It doesn't give a full coverage, but it definitely helps with the absorption of all of their urine. I do it in an assembly style, so I'll take however many tubs I can carry at a time. You can see kind of this is what I usually have, just about. And I layer all of them with their pine bedding pellets, and then you can see my tub over there with the pine shavings. I dump one bag at a time in there, and I kind of loosen it up, fluff it up a little bit, and then I go ahead and I drop it in one at a time into the bins. So I'll kind of give you an idea of how thick I spread it. Again, this may not work for you depending on your climate. We live in Michigan, so in the winter I give them a little more bedding than I would in the summer. We do have the shed insulated. It is heated, but then again, it's still not going to be balmy in there. It runs somewhere in between 55 to 62 degrees. So there's my scoop full of bedding. Just take it, and then I take it over here to the bin. I don't know if the camera will focus or not, and I just kind of spread it amongst it. It takes 2 scoops for me to fill where I want it to fill, and it usually comes up about 2 inches, at least for the winter. In the summer it was a little less than that. They didn't need quite so much insulation, and honestly I clean a little more often in the summer. I clean about every 6 to 7 days in the winter, and then in the summer I clean a little more frequently. Alright, so here's a good look at the exterior of our rat house, and as you can see it's just a regular 10 by 10 tough built shed. I think we purchased this from Lowe's, and we just insulated the inside of it so that it would hold heat. We have electricity run to it, and so it's heated inside. It has electricity. I'll turn on the lights and I'll go about showing you how I clean the rat room. So I'm on the outside looking inside our rat room. There's not a whole lot of room in there. As you can see, we have ARS racks. They're fantastic. We love them. They work great. You can see that it has a bucket system, and then the hose delivery goes to each and individual tubs, and we haven't had any problems whatsoever with this system. I really like it. It makes for easy access and easy cleaning. The only thing that is sometimes an issue, thankfully these things are on casters, is I have to pull the racks away from the walls in order to fill the hoppers. The hoppers are at the back side, and that's where the food goes. So I'll show you how we do that in a little bit, but just to kind of give you an idea, since I'll be focusing on one particular space. You see all our little rats in there. The fan is going for ventilation in the rat room currently. We have it set on a timer, so it might be a little loud. You may have a hard time hearing me. I'll do my best, but my actions will speak louder than my words anyhow, so here we go. So as you can see, it's about 64 degrees in here, and the heater itself is set at 60. I don't know if you can tell. Nope, the way the readout is. Okay. So it's about 60 on the bottom, 64 on the top, which is a pretty decent span. I don't think that's too bad. It's a little chilly on the bottom. The doors themselves, I need to replace, and I'll do that this coming spring. I don't like them the way that they were made. They bow. I think that's just because of the heat interior here, and then the exterior is obviously cold because of the weather. And as you can see, this is how I do it. I mark the date on the outside as to when I cleaned them last, and then I mark when I put a male in, or if they have a male in the tub, and then I also mark when I remove them. Everybody else has their own system, and whatever works for them, this is how it works for me. Alright, here I am pulling a tub. As you can tell, rats typically will go to the bathroom on one side of their tub, and then if the females, they nest in the back. As you can tell, these females have a litter or two of pinkies. They're social, and they'll help each other when it comes to raising their babies. So they kind of know the protocol. I'll be pulling the females out, and then I'll be transferring the babies into a clean tub, and I try to put the babies in a depression in the area similar to where the females currently have the babies stashed. So just one moment here, and I'll show you how I transfer them out. Okay, as you can see, there's a really small litter here. Pinky's just starting to see the hair come in, so there'll be fuzzies here shortly. Doesn't take long, maybe a week, less than, depending on how healthy your females are and how quickly the pups grow. So what I do is I take the little ones, there's 3 of them here. 1, 2, 3, and then I'll move them over to the new bin. There you go, new bin, same corner, and I'll drop them down in here, like that. And I just replace the bin, and then I'll replace the females, just so you have an idea of what I do with them. I actually put the bin right over top of a 5-gallon bucket that I put the females in. And really, that just amounts to me keeping them contained so they can't take off on me. And then after I get finished cleaning this entire rat room, I'll take that bucket, I'll hose it out really well, clean it, dry it, and then it'll be ready for use next time. And as you can see, I just put the females back in their tub. They're checking it out. A lot of times they'll burrow under the fresh litter. I really like that. And I'll see them in a week. Oh, there you go. So you can see the dates. I use a grease pen, and even though I scrub these tubs, sometimes it doesn't come off all the way, at least on the outside. I use blue. The blue seems to come off better. You can kind of see the faded blue. The black did not come off well. So the way I mark them, it is 12, 14. There were only 3 pinkies in here, which could be a result of Dave pulling from the day before. I usually try to clean Friday and Saturday, and he usually feeds Wednesdays and Thursdays. So by the time I get back around to the tubs, that means that what I have for the next week is an accurate representation of what's actually in there. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I think that I have some pretty healthy and beautiful rats. I raise them for not only providing food for our snakes, but also because I enjoy seeing what kind of colors. And man, it is so hard to see the true colors on this one, but she's a gorgeous gray. This one is a pretty cream girl. And that one's kind of a more typical color of a Norway rat. As you can see, curious, healthy. And then I've got my Studley boy in here too. He's a big dude. Just some more close-ups. Hey Mama, what you got there? Oh, look at the babies. Oh, says heading out. So to give you an idea of how I do things, you can kind of see here, 12/7 is when I cleaned this bin last. So it's 14th now, so it's day 7. You can see that when I was checking bins on 12/12, I removed a male from here and I moved him into this bin. So he just goes right on down the line. He gets new females. It could have been because the last set of females had looked close to being ready to lay, and when that happens, I just go ahead and remove the male and move him over. There's nothing wrong with keeping the male in with females. They are social. The males they don't really help nurse obviously, but they don't mind being in the bins with the females when they're caring for their litter. They don't usually harm the babies. But females are receptive shortly after giving birth. They breed every 4 days, or they actually go into estrus every 4 days until they're until they become pregnant. So that's a lot of hardship on a female when she's trying to nurse her young, and there's a lot of calcium that's pulled from her body because she's producing milk. And rather than stress the females, I rotate the males out. So this one went in on 12/12, and I'll continue moving him along the line until the very end, and then he'll get a rest himself. So after I'm all done with the tubs, I take them downstairs. All of the stuff has been discarded into the trash. The tubs are cleaned out with a dish detergent like Dawn. I scrub them out really well. I wash them, rinse them, and then go ahead and air dry them, and then I repeat the process that you saw from the beginning. Have any questions, feel free to go ahead and drop them below in the comment section, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we appreciate your support. Have an awesome day.